Hi there. I probably should say hi because this is recording. Let me start clicking some buttons and opening everything up just as people join and jump in. Admit I've got to let people in from the waiting room. Let me see if I can enable waiting room. Remove participants. All good, all good. Looks like I'm going to have to let people in during the session. That's cool. Hi, guys. Hi. So let me just click some more buttons as you all jump in. And for anyone watching this back, oh, that's funny that your video came on, Trinity. Let me switch you off, or you can switch you off. You're not meant to be there. Hi. Stop video. All right, we'll just give it another minute. So anyone who's watching this as a replay, just give us a second while, we admit everyone, get them in, say hello in the chat box. Hi, guys. So nice to see you here. Make sure you find the chat box for me too, so that I know if you've got any questions along the way. Hi, Deb. How are you? Hi, Anita. Nice to have you. Yep. And randomly I know, like, what's up? Trinity, you just popped in there on the screen for a second. That will be so funny. Saved. I was going to say in memorandum, but memorandum, is that in memorial? That's not what I'm after. Anyway, I'm just going to stop talking. You're forever here in this this webinar forever. Excellent. We've got Stuart joining. So good to see so many of you here. We'll just give it one more minute. Again, if you're just watching this replay, one more second, just as a few more people join, and then we're going to actually jump straight in because I've got, as always, so much juicy juice, to fling your way. God, where is my brain today? We're flinging juice your way today. You are welcome, everyone. Let me just see. I think I'm set up. Let's put some lip gloss on because there's going to be a lot of talking as always. Say hi, Stuart. Say hi in the chat box. Probably could have glossed beforehand, but that's just what we do here. All right, we might get started. I am going to have to keep a half eye on the participation thing. Oh, as I click it off, just in case people need to jump in. All right, you guys, let me just do a quick screen share. Brilliant. Boom. All right. So, participants and chat. There we go. Oh, hey. Oh, no, it's fine. You're on your phone. That's cool. All right. So, we're going to get started. So welcome everybody who is watching this back. Welcome everybody who is here. I'm glad you've all found the chat box. I can see who's with us. Obviously, have a bit of a chat. Anything that resonates, I love to hear about it. What else do I need to say at the front end? Nothing really. I'm really excited to jump in to this Impact and Income Masterclass today. It's about exploding your impact and income with grace, flow, and ease. Give me a hell yes if you'd like some more grace, flow, and ease in your business, and to uncover some of the crazy things that are going on for us under the surface. I feel like subconscious has been my word of the last 6 months or something. So yes, we're gonna dig deep into this subconscious a little bit. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. And if you're watching this back, just type into the comments or something like that. I can see others just jumping in. Awesome. So look, Impact and Income Masterclass with grace, flow, and ease. Super exciting. Let's get started. So you are in the right place if you are ready to call in the freedom you desire in life while taking courageous action, feeling fear and doing things anyway. All right, you are in the right place. If you are ready for true wealth, changing the way you view money, marketing, social media, mindset, and obviously changing the way that you're showing up in your day to day, because wealth is so much more, as we're going to keep talking about today. Wealth is so much more than the dollars in our bank account, although we are allowed to have those too, right? And you are in the right place today if you are ready to make massive impact in people's lives, including your own, all right, with grace, flow, and ease by becoming the leader you were born to be. Does that sound good, everybody? I feel like you're all in the right place. I know you all pretty well. So look, today we are talking about how to explode your impact and income with grace, flow, and ease. Whew. So what I want to say to you, you know, if you've ever done any of my webinars before, what I want you to do is obviously, you know, switch off. You know, we're probably here for, I'd say, you know, probably a little bit over an hour. So if I say a little bit over an hour, it's probably an hour and a half, less than 90 minutes, right? You know, I've got so much information, juicy stuff to get to. But you know, the world will keep turning. You know, if you put your phone down for an hour and a half, you're okay, right? You know, everybody will be fine. You know, I'm sure there won't be any, you know, major anythings, like knock wood, right? You know, this is your time to really just sort of sink in, you know, to the information that we're providing today. And even if you've done some of my webinars, you know, similar to this before, I promise you, you know, what we're talking about today is different. Some parts of it might be friendly reminders, but that's the thing, right, about change and growth and whatever. You know, it'd be really amazing if we heard something once, right? And then we're like, yeah, cool, I've got that, you know, implemented in life, like down pat, done, you know. But sometimes, you know, it takes a few goes and existence waxes and wanes. So even sometimes when we learn a lesson or we've been implementing something, or, you know, all those juicy bits and pieces, you know, having a little bit of a reminder on the odd occasion, you know, is really good too. All right. So look, switch off, put your phones down, lock the door to wherever you are, put your earphones in if you're on your phone or something. I guess you can't switch your phone off then. You get what I'm saying, right? Just chill the fuck out, you know, and be present. We're so, you know, often stuck. Hang on, we're going on a tangent. This takes up time. You know, we so often get stuck, right, in, you know, in past and future thinking. Just be here, just be now, you know, just be in the now and take in this amazing information today and, you know, and see what lands, right? So we are going to learn the 4 hidden mental barriers to why you aren't making the money that you so desire and that keeps you, you know, stuck repeating old patterns. All right. We are going to learn the exact steps to ensure that you, excuse me as I move things around, that you are living in alignment with your purpose, all right? And we're going to talk about strategy that is soul aligned, you know, and you can have both. I you know, I often will speak on playing both sides, right? We are going to learn how to stop toning ourselves down to fit into other people's boxes of what a business should look like, a business owner should look like, you know, all of those different things. And we are going to learn the 3 pillars to running an impact-driven, soul-aligned empire. Give me a hell yes in the comments if that sounds, you know, good to you to learn today. Go. Give me some hell yes. Oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yes. All right, look, when you stay until the end as well, hell yes, they're all popping up now. There's a delay. There's always that delay where you're like sweating, going, is anyone paying attention? Like, find the chat box, please. Oh, God. All right, look. And if you are playing with us at home, you know, just say it out loud in your head, because the more you participate in today's information, right, if you were saying hell yes in your mind and you're answering the questions, even if you're just there by yourself, you know, if you're mentally doing it and participating, you will retain the information so much better. All right. So look, if you stick around to the end, I am going to tell you, you know, about an amazing opportunity that we have coming up. I'm so fucking excited about, you know, the soul aligned empire. So stick around, you know, so that you can get that, you know, awesome information. You know, we'll chat about then. So what I want you to do is look at this picture. All right. Here in front of you, you know, is the amazing, you know, earth that we live on, right? And, you know, it's so awesome that this earth is covered in, souls just like you, right? And different, completely uniquely, different, all in their own right. But this world, that we live on is covered in souls, in amazing human beings here for the full fucking human experience. Hell yes to that. But the thing is that not every single human that is down there on the planet, right? All of these little lights, I want you to imagine those as souls, and every single one of those souls, guess what? Not every single one of them is your person. And if you're here because, and I know you're here because you're all running, amazing impact driven businesses, wanting to build out your own freedom, wealth, and impact, right? But the thing is that sometimes we get caught up in, even in our own self-importance sometimes, right? When we feel a little bit rejected, when somebody says no to us and we think it's the end of the world. But the most amazing thing is true is that there are so many souls out there on this planet that are your people, right? And it's also okay that some of them are not. And that was probably one of the greatest lessons that I learned, along the lines, right? Get rid of my fucking God complex, thinking I'm here to save everyone. And the greatest lesson was that, you save those who swim towards you. All right. Not every soul out there on the planet is your human, and that is okay. And you're not going to be here, for everybody. Not everybody's going to like your big curly hair and your loud shirts and your strange background and your annoying voice. God, I hear myself back sometimes and I'm like, you guys who have to listen to me all the time, Lordy Lord, right? You're not going to gel with everybody, and that's okay. Like, it's not about, well, fuck them then, da 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 da. It's just, we are here to serve those people who swim towards us. All right. And send love to those who don't. It's okay. There is enough success out there in this world for us all to be chipping away at our little corners, growing our own impact driven empires for those people, who are picking up what we're putting down. All right. So look, who am I? And I know a lot of you, which is really awesome as always. So you can just, you just sit back for a second, right? Who am I? Look, my name is Sky Hanley. I am the owner of Sky Hanley Co. and Limitless Health Co. These days, look, I am an alignment coach and business mentor. I am also a multimodality health professional, which means that I have a lot of wanky titles when it comes to nutrition and exercise and right. But as I said, these days I'm working within, alignment coaching and mentoring amazing businesses to really, play a bigger game. And again, some of you are here, give me a hell yes if that is, if that's the case. You're like, nah, not really. Look, I've been running big businesses for, gosh, I had a birthday, a little while ago. So I'm like, how many years now? For many years, to be honest with you, since my teens, I was always running big businesses and managing and studying. I want to study until the day I die. And for the last sort of, I suppose, 3 to 4 years now, I've been business mentoring, which has been super exciting. And in my many years, I've actually owned and run 5 different businesses of my own. I sat down and counted that number the other day because I was like, yeah, what businesses, like, what are the ones that, that I've had, the successes and the, whatevers. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. There's actually like a box somewhere in my house that has like, business cards from over the years kind of thing, which is always very funny to crack open that box and find, all the different adventures that I've had. But look, who am I really, right? Because that's kind of, as I say, all the wanky stuff. The way that I see it is, I'm a light leader for other light leaders, and what that means is that, I say it all the time. I kind of have my vision, my mission on this planet tattooed to my arms by divine timing or sheer accident. I am here to believe in myself above all else and inspire others to do the same, which means I am here to help you to believe in yourself so that you can then take that into your business, your life, your family, and inspire them to believe in themselves above all else so that they can inspire others to believe in themselves above all else. Because at the end of the day, why the fuck not? right? Like, why the fuck not? I don't, don't even get me started. I don't get it. Why wouldn't we want to believe in ourselves and have the resilience and stand up and be seen in our own life and our own journey and our experience? And so that to me is like leadership, to be seen, to be fallible, to make mistakes and to get the fuck up, dust my crown off and put it back on my head. And in doing that, if I'm able to help, inspire others to do the same, to let you all know that it's okay. We're allowed to make mistakes and we're allowed to keep getting up. And if we have deep enough reverence for, our goals, our why, the people that we are doing, the things that we are doing them for, why we run businesses, then fuck yes to that. Like, amazing, right? So look, I've been on my own journey to stop toning myself down, trying to fit into other people's boxes of what I should look like, what a business should be. And it's really funny. I even, I was going to tell you guys about this today. I even had an experience when I was redoing this particular PowerPoint presentation, right? And I literally started a whole new PowerPoint presentation. And I was like, all right, it's a different time. There's some new things coming into my business. Maybe I should look a particular way, right? And as you see, when we go through like this, this PowerPoint presentation, there's neon lights, there's graffiti, there's all sorts of different things. And I even still had that moment of, should I look, more professional? What does that even mean? Right. Then, some neon lights and a bit of graffiti in the background. Right. And I caught myself and I thought, fuck, I'm doing it. There it is. Right. I'm trying to fit myself into other people's boxes of what something should look like. So, this kind of work is forever stuff where we're going on journeys and we're making realizations where it's coming up for us. But when you start noticing, the little voices creep in or that thinking pattern, man, I fucking deleted that entire slide deck pretty fucking quick when I went, what am I doing? This isn't even fun, like I'm not even picking pictures I like. And I was like, oh, this is the worst, And so I was like, fuck it. Like, right there, why fit myself into some other box, and obviously I invite the same for you. The way that I look at it as well, who am I really? I'm a badass fucking universal being here for the full human experience. I believe in soul. I believe in the universe. I believe in channeling. I believe in so much more, grandeur than this physical expression that we are. We are a fucking energetic being. We are expansive. You are limitless. It's not just me. I'm not the only badass universal being here. You all are too. That is my deep belief. And when we have that belief that we are not just this single, shell of a physical being, that we are so much fucking more, and that we play in a realm where all things are possible. And when you believe that and understand that to be true, you start realizing that, life and business is happening for you, not to you. All righty. And who am I really? Look, I'm building a missioned empire, helping people like you to believe in yourselves above all else so that you can inspire others to do the same, because there's this amazing, phenomena that happens when you have belief in yourself, right? It is actually contagious. So it's not like you have to be out there deliberately inspiring others to believe in themselves. And you can add a bit of that flair in there too, right? Like preach it, absolutely. But just by you believing in yourself, that in itself is contagious and inspires others to believe in themselves too. All righty. So look, what I wanted, what I've always wanted in existence and in life is to live my best life, all right? Helping others help themselves, I wanted in business, to create a ripple effect legacy where people who don't even know my name are helped and supported by the work that I do. I often joke, and those obviously who know me, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm all in the front end. I'm happy to be sitting here presenting to you guys, being on camera, all those kinds of things. But you have no idea how honored I am, simply with the understanding that something I have perhaps done or been or just shown up or whatever that might be, that ripple effect that goes to to you, and then you're able to help your tribe and like, you know, that is actually what I live for. Alrighty, is knowing that these ripples are out there in the universe. Hell yes to that. What I wanted was to take massive and radical self-responsibility for my actions and therefore my results. Many years ago, I learned the lesson to expand my own existence, right? I needed to have courage, right? And that like was literally the, you know, the pivotal moment in my life where I went, okay, if I want expansion, if I want greatness, if I want all of these amazing things, you know, impact and love and legacy and brilliance and, you know, whatever that looks like, right? Then that is my responsibility. And yes, happiness can come from others, but happiness also you know, it's an internal job, right? And so the same is for you. You know, and it is a choice to take massive and radical self-responsibility for your actions and therefore your results. And if you're here, you know, and I know you're here for your businesses, what that means is that if there is something happening or not happening in your business right now, there is only one direction to look, and that's in the mirror, right? And that's not a shame tool. It's just a cool, what's happening? What do we need to do? How can we be different? And we're going to talk about that, right? You know, to bring in new, different change and the results that you so desire. What I've always wanted as well was to know that it all means something, that my life's work was in servitude of others, not martyrdom, right? Like it's not about martyrdom. And burning yourself out and being so giving, you know, the give receive cycle, it's two ways. All right. Give, receive. And that is what I suppose, you know, leading a you know, soul-based, soul-aligned empire is actually all about. It's give, receive cycle, you know, because in servitude of others, you know, we receive so much, and that's awesome. And if you're here, and again, I see the names, I know you guys, so I know that you are here because you fucking love your tribe, you know, like, and their goals and, you know, what's going on in their existences and their lives, like equally as if they are your own, you know, and that is part of the give receive cycle. But also part of the give receive cycle is, you know, is the amazing energy of income. And we are here to talk about impact and income, because you are allowed to make money, you know, while you help people. You don't have to be, you know, a martyr to the cause. All righty. What I always wanted was to build a soul-aligned empire where I get to live my passion every single day. And even myself, you know, I've had to go on that journey where, you know, where I felt like it's, you know, it's almost like split personality, you know, where exactly I was trying to fit into that box and be like, okay, what do I need to be, or what should I look like to be this, you know, X thing over here. Right. And in doing that, I was hiding so much of myself, you know, to not speak fucking universally, to not have, you know, a fucking rainbow everywhere, because why the fuck not, right? To say the F word rather than, you know, not saying it because perhaps it's not professional enough or whatever, right? Like we don't want to be hiding, you know, parts of ourselves. We want to be unapologetically ourselves, not being an asshole. There is a big difference. It's not about just being out there and being a big old jerk to everyone. It's just about aligning all parts of yourself and allowing that to come through in the work that you do. Because I promise you, true alignment in your business, and the magic happens when you lean into those uncomfortable edges, you know, which may also be, you know, the combination of bringing, you know, bringing parts of you all back together, right? And that is actually an NLP practice as well, where you can bring, you know, different parts of you back together so that you are, you know, the one whole, which seems, you know, it's a concept for another day, right? So look, what I also, you know, have always wanted and sort of known to be true, right, is these three things. I wanted freedom, you know, to, excuse me, to wake up every day, you know, at the times that I wanted to wake up, right? Do the things that I wanted to do, build a business that aligns with me, you know. I wanted wealth, and wealth, you know, as we've said, and I'll keep saying today, wealth is so much more than the dollars in your bank account, although, yeah, those dollars help too. Wealth is wealth of experience. Wealth is knowledge. Wealth is, you know, excuse me, the quality of human that is around you. Right. So I wanted freedom, I wanted wealth, and I wanted impact. not for significance, right? But for, and Stuart, I know you can throw the other word in here. What is the other word that I'm after? Significance and contribution. Thank you. You didn't say it, but you telepathically said that to me, right? Impact for the sake of contribution's sake, because I don't know, what else are we here for, right? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. If we're not here to contribute to the greater collective with the magic that is us, or the magic that is you, whatever makes, you like passion filled, whatever your secret sauce is, I feel like it's our job to share that with the world, right? For contribution's sake. Because what is the point in having that inside of you, that amazingness, that spark that is you, and then not sharing it with the world? Because sometimes what happens is we get in our own fucking way, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, but people will judge me. Or, the stories creep in. Oh my God, but who am I to think that I could make $1 million? Or, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy of this, or I'm not enough, or, all the different things start creeping in. And it's like, and sometimes, and look, we actually weren't going to talk about this today, but I want to throw a concept here for you. When we are, when we are self-focused, right? That's when the bullshit starts to creep into our minds. And if we can swap that to being other person centric, right? So, if I think about my tribe and the potential that I could possibly help them in some way with the secret sauce that I bring to the table, God, I can get out of my own fucking way pretty quick, right? Because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for another human being. And who am I to stand in my own fucking way of doing that? And the other way that you can look at it, as you scale and grow and your visions, whatever size your vision is, right, is mission centric. And mission centric, again, it's not about being, us centric, right? Like self-centric, and or even being about other person centric, but mission centric is I'm fucking here to do a job, right? Here for the full human experience, to create whatever it is, your vision is, in your time here, this bleep of an existence on this planet, right? And in that, if you become mission centric, again, it makes it very easy to get out of your own way, when creating, the freedom, wealth, and impact that you so desire. So look, I'm just going to breeze through these today, because we've got so much amazingness to kind of focus on. But I just wanted to say, look, these are some of the things that were showing up in my life, previously, the symptoms of the misalignment, right? Like I was always feeling stifled, feeling like I was trying to fit into other people's molds, the shoulds, the land of anxiety, right? The other symptoms were I was burnt out and overwhelmed. All right. I'd be investigating more and more strategy for my business. And honestly, it was like, I wanted to pull my hair out sometimes because I was just like, oh, like, I don't like, I know enough, right? Like, it's not necessarily about knowing more of the things, right? There's enough strategy. It's kind of like pick a fucking strategy, run with it, do it, properly, but also do it with soul. And that was part of the misalignment, the lost connection there was that I was all fucking in the front end, braining my way through existence and not connecting back down with my heart space and actually saying, what is alignment? How would this look like for me in my business? Not what other people are doing, not comparison, not, burnout and stress and overwhelm and brain, right? Like that is the land of anxiety. Absolutely. The other symptoms that were showing up in my business and my life was my own health was always coming last. And I felt like, I was drowning. I just always felt like, it was just so much. And it was really affecting me physically. And, again, if you're here, I bet we've all been there. And again, I know some of you like personally and intimately. So, I know this to be true, right? Like it's that God complex, that martyrdom sometimes. And we're like, oh, that's right. I'm meant to look after me too. I can't just be looking after everyone else all the time, and that it is a kindness to say no, right? It's a kindness to say no, not just to you, but to those that you are trying to serve. Because in saying no, you show others that boundaries are important and that life force energy is of most importance too, and that they can say no. You give permission for others to show up in that way as well, or rather not show up, right? Other symptoms were, showing up as my worst self, feeling misaligned, and missing the mark. I love to say which is totally true, right? The people that I loved most used to always get the worst of me. And to be honest with you, even sometimes still, when I feel myself, edging towards burnout or overwhelm or things like that, we end up becoming like a bit more reactive. I say we, don't let me speak to your experience. This is mine, right? But I can get more reactive. And so, the people that I love most can get the worst of me. I was being an enabler and not having the tough conversations, and I guess with that one as well, I've probably always been a bit of a forward kind of a human, and I think that my ability to have, tough conversations and not even tough conversations, we kind of call them tough conversations, but they are simply having the conversations that have the potential to serve, right? And you might be not having the tough conversations in your business, in your life, with clients and different things like that. And again, actually having those conversations is a kindness, because you are clearing energy, if nothing else as well, and not as in like a verbal dump on someone, but if they're not taking massive and radical self-responsibility for their actions and their results, and that is part of your business framework, and your clients aren't doing that, it is a kindness to call them the fuck out on that, right? Because saying your actions are not going to equal the results that you're after, sometimes people need to hear that for it to sink in, and we don't have to be mean about it, but it simply is the truth. And the same with boundaries as well. Like if you're not, and it sounds like a weird way of putting it, but if you're not teaching your clients how to treat you, how to show up, how to reach out to you, how not to reach out to you, when to contact you, when not to contact you, right? Like if it's just a free for all, you are going to start resenting what you are doing, and you are going to burn yourself out. And when you are resenting what you're doing, and we've probably all been there, right? Like on the odd occasion when we're like, it's all too much and it's really hard and I just want to crawl under the blankets and stuff like that. God, I just had a flashback of being under a pillow fort, a blanket fort that Michael built for me years ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago now, because I was literally like, I'm just going to have a meltdown now. And I was like, I happened to be sitting in bed and he's like, okay. And he didn't really know what to do, like, bless him at that time. And so he's just like built me a blanket fort and like put me under the pillows. And then he's like, is this better? And I'm like, it is actually. And he's like, okay, I'll go get dinner. And we literally ate dinner under the fucking blanket fort. You're welcome for that little insight into my existence, right? Who knows why I just brought that up. The other symptoms, right? We keep repeating these same old patterns. Burnout was a massive pattern for me. Overwhelm might be a pattern for you. Procrastination might be a pattern for you. I know a few of you that is the case. Excuse me as I be a snot. La 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 la. And behaviors, right? And even, behaviors such as continuing to buy into old fucking beliefs that money is scarcity, or not having money is scarcity, that, money doesn't grow on trees, and we're going to talk about some money income kind of belief and barriers today, coming up right now, actually. And sitting in, that like even in victim mentality, life fucking happening to you, and fuck, it's another one of those things, and oh my God, hashtag 2020, right? And all that kind of stuff. Like every challenge is an opportunity for growth. And when you see that and believe that, it is so expansive and freeing from those old patterns and behaviors that have been holding you back. All right. Other symptoms that were showing up for me was I kept thinking, it was my job to save everyone, right? And whether that was answering every fucking question that I ever saw in every forum on social media or something like that, or, or like just because we can doesn't always mean that we should. And I still catch myself these days, right? Like I answered something on another in another community group the other day, and I still, you know, it is rare. It's probably like I'd like to say 1 in 10. It's probably like 1 in 50 or something like that. You know, if I see something somewhere else, you know, do I want to answer to it? Even if I have an opinion or a thought or a help or a this or that, you know, it's discernment, right? You know, because I also know that, gosh, you know, I'm not here to save everyone, that there were a million other people's putting in, you know, putting in their 2 cents. And that, you know, I'm, you know, I see it in the belief that other people have got this covered, you know, and if I make this comment, then, you know, it's going to set my Facebook off and I'm going to get all these like, you know, reminders and other people are going to jump in and I might have to follow it up. And is that the best use of my time? No. Right? I'm not here to save everyone, and neither are you. And that is said with love, right? And we are going to talk today a little bit about, you know, about boundaries, about life force energy, you know, friendly reminder to those who have learned a little bit about this with me before. And we are going to talk about, you know, energetic boundaries as well, right? Because there is no poison out there like the self-poison that we do to ourselves, right? Because most of it is just happening in here. Right. And so energetic boundaries are, you know, equally as important as, you know, kind of physical boundaries, you know, such as putting your fucking phone down and having no phone time. All right. So look, what it takes, you know, this is my true belief, what it takes to lead a soul aligned empire is these 2 things: strategy that is soul aligned. All right. And, you know, and I don't mind, insert your words here. Right? Like if universe doesn't align with you, then change the word. If soul aligned doesn't align with you, you know, higher self or subconscious, or I don't mind, right? You know, but because the lesson, don't allow the wording, you know, like again, this is, you know, these are old patterns, old behaviors, right? Don't allow the wording to get in your way of embodying the lesson. Because if you're like, oh yeah, strategy that's soul aligned, you know, like, I mean, this is obviously, you know, my true belief. And if you're here, I imagine you are within this realm of thinking as well. But if you have other wording, that's cool. At the end of the day, you've got to play both sides though, right? It is strategy, it is systems, it is structures in your business, you know, to lead an impact driven, you know, empire, business, kingdom, what, I don't care, interchange your word here. And soul alignment, which is simply, don't be a fucking jerk. You know, like show up as your truest self, be the human that you want your clients to be, because you can't have an expectation of them and then you know, show up in a completely different way in your own existence. That in itself is misalignment and will cause, you know, friction in your life. All right. So if you want to call about the next levels of your business, your existence, your life, then you need to call about the next levels, right? Elevate your experience and how you are showing up in the world. All righty. So look, these are some of our clients' amazing results. And, you know, why I want to put this here is because, you know, I believe that I am just the luckiest person on earth these days. You know, again, there are plenty of my gorgeous, you know, universal being humans here on this webinar today. And they know how much I absolutely love them. And I do feel their, you know, their successes equally as if they are my own. Their success is my success too, right? Being able to help, support, hold, you know, coach, mentor, whatever it might be. I genuinely am the luckiest person because I get to live my passion every single day. And I want the same for you, right? And these are just some of their results, you know, featured in magazine articles, TV appearances and radio gigs, 50 new clients in 3 months. That was over COVID, right? Hitting monthly revenue targets of $15,000 consistently and above, $1,000 in additional weekly revenue during COVID times. Again, you know, in that kind of like lockdown frame, you know, if you're watching this back later, like we're talking, you know, in the crux of it, right? That's an additional $52,000 per year, equaling for them them, that was 52,000 on top of, and makes, $5,000 weeks. Brilliant, right? I mean, 5 months, hit all yearly financial targets and business goals and had to create new targets. Hell yes to that. And here's a few more, like quitting working safety jobs. A couple of you guys are here, right? Best fucking thing ever when you get to double down on yourself and your own dreams, and you say, that this is my avenue to success, right? Stop dabbling in all the different things and actually get to go, no, like I get to live my dream now and do it my way. And when you, like, that in itself, the energetic freeingness that happens in that moment, again, the guys that are on here, I'm sure they can attest to that, is like, it's nothing compares. Maybe a few things compare, I guess. 18 new clients in 1 week, moved, working from, home to owning their own bricks and mortar facility, high-end signature programs birthed, consistent coaching clients, and, always bringing in newbies. Let me see. 50 plus signups consistently. Crazy, right? 0 client drop-offs, over COVID period, with smooth transitions in their businesses from, again, bricks and mortar or in person to online, and clear visions of their future, their vision, their mission, their why. Because, let's face it, like all of our goals aren't always rated in dollars. And yes, they help too. We're here to talk about impact and income, but just even having that clear mission, right? Being mission centric, like, there is a big difference in in when you are devoted, to when you are devoted to your mission, right? Like your it's unwavering self-belief, and look, I say unwavering, but we're allowed to have moments. We can have a moment and it can creep back in, and then we go, you know what, actually, no, I'm fucking, determined. I'm so devoted to my mission, dust myself off, get back up, keep fucking going, because nothing's going to stop me. All right. How amazing is that? So that's, that's the kind of work that we get to do, or I get to do every single day, which I'm so excited for. All right, let's jump into some of the juiciness that we're here, more of the juiciness that we're here to talk about today, which is the 4 hidden mental barriers stopping you from making the money that you so desire, and then obviously how to fix them. Now, I love these, you guys. When we sort of have these realizations, it's like, oh my God, like, yes, that's been playing into my subconscious, right? Because these are hidden mental barriers. They are in your subconscious until we bring them forward and, and have that recognition that this is what's going on. So the first one is disloyalty and abandonment. All right. And what we mean by disloyalty and abandonment, as I lose my mouse, what we mean by disloyalty and abandonment is, that you are worried that if you have the success or the impact or the income, or, you elevate your standards in life and how you're showing up, that somehow you've kind of got this like hidden cord, right? That you're going to be disloyal to somebody in your existence, and that might be a partner, a parent, a sibling or something like that, right? And so what we want to do, if this sort of, hidden mental barrier of disloyalty and abandonment is coming up for you, what I want you to do is ask yourself, who am I worried about, right? And I remember this in my own existence. I'm not going to lie. Like I was definitely, worried for my, for that I was almost like, disloyal or abandonment for my mom and my brother as well, right? Because I was like, oh my gosh, if I shine this bright, like, or whatever, like, what if I'm making X amount of dollars and they're still down here? Like, is that going to, affect my relationship with them? Or what are they going to think of me? Are they going to think like, oh yeah, she's a fucking tall poppy, isn't she, right? Like we, here in Australia, we have this thing, tall poppy syndrome, right? So even when people succeed, like, instead of celebrating that, we want to fucking cut them down and go, oh yeah, now they've got all the money that's gone to their head or something like that. And it's like, oh my gosh. And, and to some of you, I said recently as well, right? I caught myself in this. I'm pretty good, right, with this one, but I caught myself because we were driving along. I was in the car with Michael and we drove past this, middle-aged dude, right, in his fucking McLaren, like, sports car. And I was like, oh yeah, midlife crisis there, ha ha ha. And like, where did that belief come from? You know, where did that lesson? When did I decide that if I saw a middle, and yes, maybe there is, right? Like there is you know, what's the word that I'm after? What's the word? You know, like a characteristic kind of thing. Like maybe that perception is out there, right? That, you know, you see a middle-aged man but you know, for all I know, he is an amazing fucking human that does so much fucking charitable work, that has worked his fucking ass off and sacrificed to make the impact and income that, you know, whatever. Like, why am I there going, oh yeah, this fucking guy and his McLaren, like, you know, right? So it's so important that we're catching these beliefs that sometimes aren't even our own, you know. And in that lesson, right, you know, sitting there and thinking, oh, this fucking guy and his McLaren, like, you know, that lesson with my mum and my brother is there too, that I'm like, oh my God, they're going to think that I'm a fucking tall puppy. They're going to think that, you know, like, you know, who the fuck am I? Or, you know, and I'm going to fucking have to deal with that fucking bullshit. They're going to say shit to me, and I'm not going to be able to celebrate my wins. Can't tell them what's going on in my business. Best not, you know, talk about money, you know, all of that, rather than thinking, oh my gosh, maybe they're actually just going to be really fucking proud of me and celebrating my success. And the thing is, at the end of the day, because again, I don't know your humans that maybe you're worried about, right? And maybe, right, I have people in my life as well that I can't tell different things because the reaction would be not aligned energetically, right? And it doesn't serve me to celebrate with them or to tell them things that are going on in my business and all the rest of it. And that might be the case for you too. But that is not a reason, nor is it an excuse for you not to shine. You get to do you, all right? And does it serve you to keep yourself small because, you know, and not live your life to the fullest because you're worried about, you know, what these other people may think? And doesn't that, you know, say more about them than it does you? Like, wouldn't you want them to celebrate, you know, and be proud? And if they don't want to celebrate and be proud, that is on them. It's not on you, all right? So look, the second hidden mental barrier to why you might not be making, you know, the money or the impact that you so desire is you feel like, you know, that money is going to be a burden. All right. And I know that sounds a little bit weird. Like, we're all like, no, I'd fucking like quite happily win the lotto today, right? Like, that'd be amazing. Like, you know, all the money coming in and hooray, right? But it can actually show up. It is a subconscious mental barrier, you know. And the reason that this can come up is because, you know, and you hear those stories, right, about people who they win the lotto and then they blow it all in the next 6 months, because they don't necessarily have the mindsets or the self-control or the strategies, structures, or systems in place, right, to facilitate holding on to that level of money. All right, whatever that level is. And this can be the same and can be said about clients as well, right? You might be capped right now. Like, you're like, no, I would really like more money in my business, or no, I would really like, you know, more, excuse me, as I just stop the video, beautiful. No, I'd really love more clients, or I'd really love more, really love more money, right? But if you don't have the strategy, the structures, the systems, and the alignment in place to facilitate, you know, that next level, alrighty, then the universe knows not to send you any more clients, because you don't have boundaries, because you're fucking burnt out, because you have no way of collecting the data for the leads that are coming in, because you don't have, you know, an onboarding system where you do this, then you do this, then you do this, you do this, then you do this, then you do this, right? And have that pattern in place so that you can, you know, move through business with grace, flow, and ease. All right. So we can sometimes cap ourselves, you know, and the universe also likes to cap us, because it says, no, I'm not sending any more clients your way. You can't even fucking hold the ones that you've got now or facilitate it. It's not, again, this isn't another shame tool, right? It's just to say, you know, we can have this subconscious thing going on where our soul, our alignment, our subconscious, the universe, you know, pick a word, right, is saying, I'm not sending you more dollars, because even if you had them, you don't have the systems in place to hold them or to continue at that level, right? You know, and the other thing in business as well, let me put this here while we're talking about it, is that, you know, there is a rite of passage. you guys. And this is something that, you know, I've found over the years, like, and I've done a lot, like I've done a lot of, you know, mentoring and, you know, and courses and business work and personal, like personal development and stuff like that. And it really wasn't until maybe the last year, I reckon the last year, right? This particular concept, kind of something that I guess I knew to be true, but it was put in, you know, sentence structure that made a lot of sense to me, right? And it only, you know, has just come up in the last year, right? There is a rite of passage as a business owner. All right. And we all want what we fucking want, and we want it now. You know, the truth is, you know, I'm always fucking calling in the next level. Let me tell you, I'm always like, what more can I do? What does that look like? You know, how can I facilitate this? How am I going to have the, you know, the business and life of my dreams and live my passion and grace, flow, ease, you know, like I'm always like, I'm such a visionary, you guys. But there is a rite of passage to get there. It doesn't just happen overnight. And if it does happen overnight, sometimes it doesn't stick because you don't have the strategies and the structures and the systems in place. So if you are sitting where you are now and you're going, oh, but somebody next to me, you know, they've got it all, or maybe they look like they've got it all, or they have the success that you want to have, there is a rite of passage to get there. You need to do the do, and you need to show up and be that person in the now. We will talk about be, do, have today as well. You know, you it's so important that that you actually just accept that journey, that rite of passage, you know, journey as part of the path. All right. Because, yeah, it is rare that it's just, you know, overnight success. So wherever you are in business right now is perfect. Right. Recently, I was talking about one of my next mentors, you know, somebody that I'm like, yes, I'm totally aligned with them. I'm going to make it work, you know, all the rest of it. Right. Like she's charging something like $120,000 for just one of her mentor programs. And that isn't even her one-on-one stuff. Right. So it's $120,000 for a 1-year mentorship. And I'm like, yep, going to make that fucking happen. That is so awesome. You know, all the rest of it. I saw a post the other day and she literally said, oh gosh, you know, I'm running a workshop. It's my 35th birthday next week. And I was like, fuck you. I turned 35 like 2 months ago. And I'm like, wow, you know, and I could sit there and be like, oh my gosh, you know, I know she has a multi-million-dollar business and all of those amazing kinds of things, right? And I could sit there in comparison and be like, oh my God, and and how did she get to be so fucking, you know, this and like head noise. The only people who poison us, like we're the ones who are poisoning ourselves with that bullshit, right? But there is a rite of passage, and it is my job to do the do, to call in the amazing level of success that she has, if that is what I so choose. You know, it's not just this overnight thing. And that's sometimes why this subconscious burden, you know, can come up, because we forget that, you know, that we actually have to, you know, like money loves structure as well. So if you want to call in a particular dollar amount, then you need to have the structures in place to facilitate, you know, that level of income. It's that simple. All righty. So just see and ask, you know, a bit of a question like, am I capping myself? You know, do I have the structures and the systems in place? You know, am I feeling burnt out and overwhelmed? You know, would I be burdened? Like, and again, you know, I ask you to dig deep, because if you're sitting there going, no fucking way, you know, I totally love all the money right now, you know, dig a little deeper, because there's some things, like there's got to be some stuff coming up there, right? And it's just an exploration, you know, to see what lands and what's true for you. The third potential hidden barrier that could be coming up for you is fundamentally flawed. All right. So this could be blocking you from making the impact and the income that you so desire. Fundamentally flawed. All right. And what fundamentally flawed is that if you were to call in the, you know, the impact and the income that you so desire, people are going to work out that you're a fraud, that you're not an expert in your field. Who do you think you are in comparison to this person, that person, Insta-famous human, person on the TV, person who's written a book, I don't know, whoever the fuck you're comparing yourself to, right? And deciding, you guys, it's a fucking choice, deciding to keep yourself small, you know, and stuck in not enoughism and non-worthiness, and worried that if you do call in the next layer of your business, of your life, of your success, of your bank account, right? That people are going to work out that there is something wrong with you. Whether it's you're not enough, you're not worthy, you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough, you don't know enough, right? Information hoarders, who think they need to keep studying. I mean, I want to study until the day I die, but I also fucking implement what I learn, right? And I choose to use it to also teach others, and I don't, it's the difference in sitting not enough-ism, procrastinating, I like to call it, when people think, I'm going to do this next thing in my business when, I get this next qualification or this next certificate. And then you get to the end of that one and you go, but now I'm going to have to do X, Y, Z, right? Like mastery is in the doing, like the implication, implementation is the word that I'm after. I was like, no, that's not right. The implementation of the knowledge that you already fucking have. Because trust me, you already have, more than enough knowledge in your head to succeed. It is okay as well, right, to have some skill-based gaps. We can't know everything, the same as we are not here to serve everyone. And that's why you get additional support, because success leaves clues, which means there are other people out there, who are able to support you, whether it's through some coaching or mentoring or whatever that might look like, so that you can upscale, the areas that are maybe not your space of genius. Call in team that are going to help you in different ways so that you get to stay in your space of genius. And if you need to call in a particular dollar amount to then call in team, then like there is help available to you. And people aren't going to find out that you're not the expert and this and that. We forget so often how much, when something is our norm, we forget how little, and not like in a rude way, how little other people know, because it's our norm, right? Like you are experts. You wouldn't be here if you weren't an expert in a particular area. And even being an expert is as simple as, that you are so fucking passionate about a particular problem that you solve, or a group of people that you want to work with, or a program that's bubbling away inside of you that, is just waiting to be birthed. You are an expert. You are enough as you are right now, and you are worthy. You still get to take radical self-responsibility for your actions, which means you do get to upscale, up-level, elevate what it is that you're doing to call in the next level of your business and your life. Yes, but you are not flawed, and people aren't going to find you out. All righty? And the last reason that, excuse me while I scratch my eye, and the last reason that, that could be playing into why you're not making the impact and income that you so desire, these are the subconscious hidden mental barriers, right? Is outshining. All right. And what outshining is, sorry, as I just press things. Oh, there we go. Outshining. And what outshining is, this idea that it's really similar to disloyal and abandonment, same, but different, right? That if you shine too brightly, maybe again, there are people in your life, maybe it's your partner, right? Like maybe, there's a lot of, women on this call, right? Like maybe you're worried that, what if you made more money than your partner did? Right? Like, are you keeping yourself small to play to somebody else's ego? Perhaps, and maybe not, but that often comes up in relationship dynamic, or maybe again a sibling, or maybe a parent, or that struggled, raising you their entire life. So you have this subconscious belief that maybe you need to struggle, that it can't be easy with grace and flow, right? And that if you shining so brightly, being unapologetically you, even in your friend groups, perhaps, where you think, oh gosh, but they all get together and they have a wine and they have a bit of a bitch, and I want to talk about the fucking universe, and I want to talk about expansion, and I want to talk about, business, and I want to talk about all these amazing things, and they want to talk about, small-minded problem, like having a whinge about the news, or or whatever's going on in the world, or that kind of stuff, like, are you keeping yourself small to play into other people's comforts and or discomforts? And the amazing thing is, and I loved hearing this again recently, is that you shining bright. And to be honest with you, actually, this was a comment somebody sent me, and I can't remember. It was literally after something I had posted, and they sent, like, just randomly out of the blue, somebody who had never contacted me before. And, again, like the ripple effect, right? And they said, they literally said, thank you. And I was like, what? And they were like, thank you, because you shining bright gives the rest of us permission to shine too. I was so fucking floored by that, right? And what a fucking reminder, what a lesson, what a truth, what a belief, because I do believe that to be true. But the same goes for you, right? You shining bright gives permission for your family, your clients, your tribe, people who are looking at you that you don't even realize are watching. You shining bright gives them permission to shine too. So with love, I say, and if you've ever done any of my webinars, get over yourself. Because the only person that's probably getting in your way, and yes, we've got some beliefs to unpack and some shit to move through and some enoughism and all the different things, but believe in yourself above all else, and that will inspire others to do the same. All right. So we move, when we have clarity and understanding around these particular areas, these 4 hidden mental barriers, abandonment and disloyalty, outshining. I'm going to forget them in order now. Right. And the other 2, burden and fundamentally flawed. Whew, got through those. Right. When we become, like, when we bring these from our subconscious into the forefront of our mind, and we see, oh my God, like, and you guys that are here, type it in, which one landed with you. When we realize which one lands with us, then we know how to start to combat it. And we also can recognize when it's coming up for us, which also means we go, oh, there's that again. There's that fear of, me being disloyal or abandonment, but no, I'm allowed to shine, and that's okay. And people who love me are going to be proud of me. And if they get a bit uncomfortable when I'm not even being a jerk, then, unfortunately, that speaks to their place. And that's not a better than or worse than kind of thing. It's just a mindset, right? That, maybe they're not aware that they've got some beliefs and things coming up for them. So look, keeping yourself small or safe, to keep others happy is a reflection of their beliefs and limitations, not yours. All right. And I'm going to say that again, keeping yourself small or safe, right, to keep other people happy is a reflection of their beliefs and limitations, not yours. All righty. It means that you get to shine, and that is perfect as it is. All righty. You don't have to keep yourself small or safe to fit into other people's boxes of what you should be or what a business should look like. All right. You get to play your game. That's what's so exciting about being, uniquely ourselves. So look, what I want to talk about now is, excuse me, as I take a sip of water. The 3 pillars to building a soul-aligned empire. All right, really exciting. So as we've already kind of covered it, a little bit in part, these were the things that I wanted, and what I believe and found out to be true is these 3 pillars, is what builds a soul-aligned empire. So if you want a soul-aligned empire of your own, this is what we need to start, implementing. Freedom, right? Freedom of choice, freedom of location, freedom of time, freedom of, dollars and things like that, right? Freedom to follow your passions. Wealth being, wealth being so much more than the dollars in your bank account. Wealth is, wealth in the conversations that you're having, wealth in the information that you're, taking on board, wealth, the relationships that are around you. Wealth, is again, living your passion every single day, and impact, right? Because there needs to be a vision and a mission that you're working towards. Otherwise, it's like, what are you doing it all for? Why? If there's no vision, or if it's just like, chipping away for chipping away's sake, like it's, like what existence is that if you're not in it to make impact in your own life and your family's lives and the lives of others? It's time to sort of reevaluate, right? And kind of go, oh my gosh, am I just stuck on the hamster wheel of death? Just on the hamster wheel, working, hustle to bring in the dollars to pay the fucking bills. That's not a wealthy life. wealth of experience, right? Wealth of choice and freedom. So these are the three pillars to building a soul aligned empire. And we are going to break them down a little bit more in depth in a second so that you can, walk away today with some actionable steps that perhaps you can take to bring about more freedom in your life, more wealth, wealth of experience as well as wealth in income, and make, massive impact in people's lives, including your own. So look, are you ready to live in alignment with your passions, build a soul-aligned empire, become wealth conscious, and live the impact-driven life that you were born to lead? Give me a hell yes, even if it's in your brain. So look, let's break these down, right? Excuse me, apparently I'm like using my voice a lot today. I'm like, I've already run out of puff. So freedom, okay? Freedom, freedom is all about life force energy, all right? Raising your standards to do you first. And, we kind of hear that a lot, right? I know some of you work with mums and things along those lines, or maybe you're in a coaching realm, or, whatever it is that you do. We're often telling clients, we got to look after you and make sure, your health is on track and doing all those sorts of things. Meanwhile, living in misalignment and not actually choosing our own life force energy. All right. And life force energy or light force energy, it's like what lights you the fuck up, right? If it is not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, don't fucking do it. If it's not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, it's not for you. It's that simple. And that's the same in business. Like if there are things in business that you're going, man, this is really hard. Man, this feels like hustle. Gosh, I don't like doing this. Why am I still doing this in my business when actually the path I'd like to go down is this particular thing? But you think you should do both, play both arms of your business, right? Like, because other people like expect that of you, or I don't know, whatever story or BS belief or whatever thing that you're telling yourself, or expectation or pressure, I want you to take this moment to question everything. Because if it is not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, it is not for you. And that, the more play energy that we can bring into our life and our business, I'm going to repeat that, the more play energy that we can bring into our business, the more successful our business becomes. Because then everything that you are doing is laced with the most amazing energy, right? The most abundant, awesome energy. Even me, like I said, sitting there, creating the new slide deck that I was going to be for this presentation. And I was like, this isn't fun. I was like, this really isn't fun. I was like, it's not brightly colored. It's not fucking neon. It's not graffiti. It's not me. If it's not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, it's not for me. And I went, fuck it. I want to sit here. Like I could have, slogged and hustled and busied my way through making my very professional slide deck, couldn't have I? Like I could have done it, but just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. And so when I sat there and went, oh my gosh, this is not fun. I don't want to do this. I want to be picking the normal pictures that I would like to pick. I went, yep, like fucking done, delete, motherfucker. Like, this isn't fun. Not even just sitting there. Like, and do you think that if I, you see the energy I turn up with today, right? Like, this is real. Do you think I could have turned up in this energy if my slide deck, if I had to sit here and look at a shit fucking background and a dark top with my hair tied up, because let me tell you, my hair is my magic power. If my hair's tied up, I feel a little less energized, right? Like with my boring fucking slide deck, do you think I would have been able to bring this level of passion, to today's presentation? No fucking chance. Because I'm seeing this too. I'm soaking this in, right? So it's so important, to ensure that we are putting our life force energy first. And when you do that, when you take time out for yourself, when you do things that are fun, when you listen to loud music, I did that earlier today as well while I was putting my makeup on. I was listening to fun, uplifting dance music songs. Frequency and vibe is everything. And it is also your responsibility. So if you are showing up and you are burnt out, overwhelmed, not loving what you're doing, starting to resent some of your clients because they're being dicks and, and they're not treating you the way you'd like to be treated, and, the money return, you're not making the income and you can't really bring any new clients in, and you're still doing this part of your business, even though, you actually enjoy this more. Do you think you can have a soul-aligned empire if that is the way that you're showing up in the world day after day? Is that freedom to you, or is that slavery? And it starts with those simple decisions. A slide deck. For me to have sat there and created a boring, colorless, whatever, like, not that it was going to be totally colorless, but you know what I mean, right? That's slavery. I would have been enslaved to a fucking idea in my head that I should be a particular way or do a particular thing. And even though it's just sitting there for an hour, let's pretend, doing a slide deck, could I have done that? Yes, I could have persevered and hustled through that. That's fine. But is that the energy I want to show up, in my day-to-day? Like, no. Is that freedom or is it slavery? It's slavery. So why do it? If it's not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, it's not for you. All righty? So look, freedom is also about courageous action. All right. And what we mean by courageous action is stop allowing fear and scarcity to run the show. And that's really a reflective question right there as well, is where are you allowing fear and scarcity to run the show? Right? Again, in your business, like, and recently, recently I've had conversations about this, right? I mean, and I, on the odd occasion, I'll check myself with this one too, and even like, like Michael, my partner, like I'll sometimes go and throw things at him, right? Like, not as in like throw things at him. I'm like, maybe that as well. No. But like, I'll go and bounce with him is a much better way of putting it. I'll go and bounce with him, and I'll sort of say, hey, like, this is what I'm thinking. It's this, or I want to do that, but blah, blah, blah. Like, and he knows now, fuck, I've trained him well over the years. Let me tell you, like, he knows that I'm bouncing. He knows I needed to say something out loud. He knows I've probably already got the answer. And so he might just, sorry, as I snot. So we might just bounce back a couple of like reflective questions. I've had to coach him to coach me, right? So he might be like, well, like if you go and sit quietly, he's like, maybe what you should do. He literally said this to me like 2 days ago. He was like, oh, okay. And he's like, maybe what you should do is go sit quietly somewhere and, and just sort of tap in, to your soul, and, and your soul will tell you, what you want to do about that. And I was like, no, I already know what that answer is. And I said, the answer, the soul aligned answer is this thing. And he's like, okay, well, you have your answer, right? And the reason, that was relevant was because the decision I was picking between, was, am I picking the fear-based, the scarcity, the right thing to do, the businessy angle? Am I going against the rules? All of this sort of, pressure and self-imprisonment thinking, over here, that would have been the right decision to make? Or did I want to sit in soul alignment with myself, not in a bullshit excuse, not in, whatever, but just to go, actually, no, what feels aligned to me is this. And he went, well, you already have your answer, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. Like, yep. Right? That's freedom. Freedom to choose for yourself. Freedom to break the rules, freedom, to do what feels good, but not as in a bullshit excuse like, I don't want to have a hard conversation, so I'm just going to do what feels good, which is go and hide. We're not talking about that, all right? We're talking about, not showing up like, and sometimes even as well, let's just say sitting in fear and doing something anyway, because that is courageous action. Is going, oh my gosh, do I have all of the dollars for this right now? No, I don't. But will I fucking make it work? Because my mission is bigger than me. Yes, I fucking will. Right? Because every new incarnation of our business requires a new incarnation of ourselves. And to do that, you are going to have to push into boundaries, lean into the edges of places you have simply never been, so that you can have a new comfort zone. That is freedom, because you are releasing yourself from the mental barriers, as we've been discussing, that are holding you back. All right. And freedom also is about boundaries. All right. Bending your boundaries or not having any leads to burnout and resentment, like we've been talking about today. All right. You need to have boundaries. All right. And, boundaries with your clients, boundaries in life, and even boundaries with yourself. Right. And boundaries with yourself might be, that there are even behaviors that you have been known to exhibit that you draw the line in the sand and you say, I never accept that behavior of myself ever again. That is a boundary as well. All right. And that is so important when you are wanting to scale and grow a business, is that you draw that line in the sand. Even income, right? You can sit there and say, I refuse to make, and even write it on a piece of paper, whatever you need to do, put it in front of you. Like, I don't know, but it's like when you draw that line in the sand, even if it's a mental boundary for yourself, and you say, I refuse to make any less than, you tell me, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a week. Draw the fucking line in the sand. Because if you're like, right, I refuse to make any less than X amount of dollars, week to week. Does that mean your next income or your next week's pay or whatever, however you look at it, right? Does that mean it's going to be that dollars? If I'm going to make $100,000 a week, drawing the line in the sand. It's not just going to magically, there is some magic to it though, let me just say, right? But you have to take the big motherfucking action. Vision, manifestation is vision plus big motherfucking action. I know that's actually coming up in the slide deck as well, right? So yeah, you had to manifest something, right? You have to first see the vision, draw the fucking line in the sand, and then take the actions to get you there. And when you're taking those actions, they need to be courageous. They need to not be fear-driven or out of scarcity, right? And they need to be, what's it called? Like forward momentum goals, right? Like forward facing goals, not backwards. All right. Things to work towards goals, not away from. They're the words I'm after. Towards goals, not away from. All right. So draw the fucking line in the sand. And then do you think when you're sitting there and making a decision and you know that you've made the decision that you're not going to make any less than X amount of dollars, you accept nothing less of yourself and you fucking mean it? Don't you think when you're making decisions, if you're coming from that decision from that place, then it is going to be courageous action and it is going to manifest, the vision, the desired outcome. Again, that is freedom, right? So wealth. Oh no, we're not quite there. Definition of leadership is how you show up in every situation. So the question that I ask you today is, who do you want to be right now? Do you want to be the person who's fear-driven, making decisions out of scarcity all the time? Or do you want to be the person who fucking stands up in their own existence, their own life, and says, you know what? I expect nothing less than this from myself anymore. What kind of a leader do you want to be? All right, let's talk about wealth. So wealth, all right, is about money. Yes. All right. It's about marketing. It's about mindset. It's about relationships. It's about experience. It's about so much. But I want to give you some actionables today. So wealth, in terms of money, you are allowed to make impact and income. All right. And I'm going to say it again. You are allowed to make impact and income. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I sometimes hear people tell me about beliefs that they heard from their parents as they were growing up, that you either get to be rich or you get to be happy. It's rich or happy, you make your choice. Like, what the fuck bullshit belief is that, right? Like, that's epic. To think that to be true, to adopt that as your own belief, right, in yourselves. What kind of reality are you going to, call about if that is your belief, right? That is the choice, happiness or income, happiness or you get to be rich. Like, no, right? You get to be both. If that's what you so choose, if that's what you want, and if that's, if you're taking courageous action to step yourself towards that, it's a no-brainer and it's a given. It's going to happen. So charge your worth because you are enough as you are, right? And yes, sometimes, you might increase your prices a little bit, but don't make it so little that it's comfortable, right? That's probably your sign that it's not enough. Sit in your worth and your worthiness, your value, what it is that you bring to your tribe. All right. And always show up and work on your money mindset too. Because every time you scale and grow your business, you're probably, it's onions, it's layers. You're going to come up against another, belief or another money mindset or a new level of discomfort, right? I remember charging the first challenge, the first program I ever ran was an 8-week, program, and it cost $97, right? For 8 weeks, including in-person time with me, including all so it was one-on-one, it was group work, it was online portal, it was all these different things. I remember, it was the pilot program for something. I remember charging that amount, way back when, right? And being like, oh, I don't know, that's all I can charge, right now, or whatever it might be. And and now, if somebody wanted to work one-on-one with me, in their business, it's thousands. If it's direct one-on-one time, it's thousands upon thousands. Don't you think in that journey, money mindset is going to come up? Because with every new step, you got to go, oh, okay, wow, that's something I haven't charged before, that's okay. What are they getting? What's the value? What's the this and that, and, doing the internal work, knowing enough, all the different things, right? It's kind of this co-creation, collaboration, it's forever work that we do, right? So wherever you sit on that, charging what you're worth spectrum, right? It is that rite of passage to scale and grow, and part of that rite of passage is working on your own self-belief that you are worth it, that you can charge that amount for what you are doing. All right. And yes, there may be some elevation in your business practices, in the value that you're adding, what that looks like, and things like that too. That is okay, but it is forever work, which is fun, I think. So look, wealth is also marketing. All right. So when we're talking about our businesses, we're always working on our money mindset. We're always checking in with our, our impact and our income, the give receive cycle. When we're working on wealth as well, it is also our marketing. All right. You need to stop hiding in your business and hoarding all the information. All right. Show up and be seen. Don't be, us centric, be other person centric, or be mission centric. All right. Because when the mission is so much bigger than you are, it's really easy to get the fuck over yourself, to show up, to stop hiding, to do, to step outside of your comfort zone, all of those amazing things. All right. No more, but I just don't want to bother people. I hear that a lot, talking to business owners. They're like, how many times should I post a day? And, how many times should I post a week is normally the question. And I'm like, you can post every day, multiple times a day. And they're like, what? And it's like, and they're like, oh, but I just don't want to bother people, or I don't want to look like one of those, scammy kind of people or something like that, or whatever. And it's like, your tribe is, the souls that are here on this planet, that are served by you will get it. And they're going to want to see your stuff, because you have the solution for a problem that they have. And how awesome is that? So who the fuck are you to hide that from them? Other person centric, mission centric. Stop hiding in your business. Stop hoarding all the information. Show up and be seen. And again, working on our wealth consciousness is also, working on our mindsets, which moves us past, this idea of I just don't want to bother people. Because, we're so bombarded in this day and age anyway, yes, but, sovereignty, right? People get to choose for themselves. If they don't want to pay attention to you, they simply won't, and why are you playing small? Because you don't want to put someone off, because, oh, but I might rock the boat, or somebody might not like me, or maybe they don't want to see my stuff all the time. Cool, no worries. That's fine, And the people who are here on this planet that you are here to serve will want to see more and more and more and more and more and more and love you for who you are now. That is wealth. And so wealth in terms of mindset is, this idea that business is a marathon, not a sprint. All right. As I said, this idea of rite of passage. All right. To call in every new level of your business, you've got to release some beliefs. You've got to move past old patterns and things like that. I remember like years and years ago, I remember it being hard to come up with even one, word post like a week, right? Or, one or two, I'd be like, fuck, like, creative amnesia. What am I meant to write? I don't know what to say. Or, or it felt weird and awkward. Rite of passage. I had to go through that, to be able to create content at the level, and the volume that we do now. Now we have, 2 YouTube videos coming out every single week. I fucking keep getting in trouble for not capping those at 15 minutes. They go for like 30 minutes because talk, right? Because there's so much information I want to give to people. We've got podcasts coming out. We've got posts every day. We've got, little nugget videos that we're sharing with people that are a bit shorter and easily digestible. Like, do you think the person that I was 5 or 10 years ago could fathom the level of content that we put out there into the free, universe in this day and age? No, not necessarily. Right? Because I had to have that rite of passage where I did the do, I showed up, I did the pieces, I made the mistakes, I learned more, I kept, trying, I found my voice, I found what I loved, I, did more with grace, flow, and ease, stayed in my space of genius, like all of rite of passage. So if you're wanting to call in a new level of your business, then it requires a new level of you. Business is a marathon, it's not a sprint, which is fine, because you want a long, sustainable business that is going to be solid, that is future-proofed, that has, multiple revenue streams, including passive ones, meaning that you are not required, to be in the front end all of the time. Like, you want a long, sustainable, healthy business, I assume, right? Or otherwise, why would you be here? And maybe your business right now doesn't look like that. Maybe if you got sick or you fell out of your business for, a month or something like that, maybe your entire business would collapse. So we want to make sure that we're putting that future-proofed safety net into your business for you, right? So that you do have that long, sustainable business. Business is a marathon, it's not a sprint. All right. And personal development and growth should be a forever priority. Because every time we think we've unraveled a new belief or a new mindset or a new subconscious thing has been brought into the conscious, or we're calling in a new level of our business, a new level of ourselves, guess what happens? Some other fucking thing unravels, right? And not as in problem, but we learn something new about ourselves and we see something in a different way. And, like personal development and even business growth can be forever, forever things. Because as well, industry and the way in which that we're doing business is always changing. So we want to stay up to date with, trends and opportunities. And again, it's not about doing all the fucking things. There's no being a yes person, right? Like a millionaire says yes to everything. A billionaire says no. All right. So we still need to have discernment, but we want to create that future-proof business and have, a wider vision, of potential opportunity. That is wealth. So your worth as a human being on this planet is not measured by the dollars in your bank account. And I'm going to say that again. Your worth as a human being on this planet is not measured in the dollars in your bank account. All right. Yes, They matter too. Yes, it is okay. And we absolutely have permission to call in impact and income, give, receive, cycle. If you are giving of your energy, your time, your genius, your know-how, your programs, your systems, whatever it is that you are giving, you are allowed to receive the energy that is money, the frequency that is money in return. That is okay as well. But if you are currently sitting there and you don't necessarily have the exact dollar amount that you want in your life right this second, that is not a reason to think you are unworthy or that you are not enough or that you're a shit human or whatever other bullshit story, might be coming up for you. Said with love, right? Because your worth as a human being on this planet is not weighed in the dollars in your bank account currently. All right. And the third thing that we're talking about here, like actionable things, right, is impact, to build out a soul aligned empire, right, full of freedom, full of wealth and impact. We need these kind of key ingredients, really. We need to have a vision. All right. You must have a compelling vision. You must have a vision and a compelling why. Why are you doing, what it is that you do? Right? What is it that you love? Where does your passion lie? And if your passion lies in some other different direction that you are not currently going in, you got some big questions to ask yourself, right? Like, because what existence, do you want to live, and where do you really want to make true impact? And you're allowed to make impact in your own life as well. And if this is this expression of this life that we get to live, this is the Sky Hanley, right? I'm currently living the Sky Hanley life. Okay, cool. So what does that look like in terms of impact? And why would I be doing something that I don't love, something I'm not passionate about, or something, why would I do something because somebody else thinks that that's the safe avenue for me to, take, which actually speaks more about their boundaries, their blockages than it does mine, right? So we have to have a vision. Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? What are you trying to work towards? What is the, what is the mission? What is the world that you want to see? If you could succeed at whatever it is, that you are doing, what would that future vision, look like? All right. And powerful towards goals. As we said before, moving away from goals are moving away from fear and scarcity, because I grew up in a poor household all those many years ago and I never want to be poor myself, or I saw my parents struggle and so I don't want to struggle. That is away from goals. And away from goals are nowhere near as powerful as towards goals and having compelling vision of the future and what you want. And that doesn't mean that you're ingrateful for what it is that you have now. Right? Like I'm the biggest fucking visionary out there, again, poor Michael, who's had to get very used to me sitting there and he's like, are you house shopping again? And I'm like, yes, like looking on the internet because I love doing that. I love, seeing these beautiful houses. It inspires me, or recently we went to the car dealership. I'm not going to get it, I don't think I'm not quite calling it a new car right this second, but we went and did test drives of, this beautiful, possibly next car that I'm after because I'm such a visionary. And it doesn't mean that I'm not grateful for what it is that I have now, but seeing these amazing, compelling things that I get to work towards, that I get to call in, that are fun, that are play, that are joyous, like, why the fuck wouldn't I do that? Like, why not? Right? So having towards goals, those things, and just check in with your goals, check in with some of the beliefs as well, because you might have a towards goal. Yes, something that you're working towards when you put it in a sentence. I want to make, $10,000 a week, right? Just check that there isn't a because that follows that, because, and maybe check what the because is. All right. I want to make $10,000 a week because I want to be able to support 1 million charities and, and help people and buy my, brother a new kitchen or buy, I don't know, whatever it is that's, there for you, right, in your life. Like, check that they are still towards based things, not away from like, I want to make $50,000 a week because, I saw my parents struggle and they had arguments and then they got a divorce. And so to me, in my brain, I have decided that, that scarcity equals non-love, divorce, abandonment. And so I need to work towards, almost like a frantic anxiety, like you're kind of working towards something, but really it's because it's actually an away from goal. Does that make sense, everyone? So true impact is having that visionary mission and moving towards it, in every action that you do. And again, being mission centric or other person centric. Alrighty. Also, impact is about inner leadership. All right. And inner leadership is showing up as your highest self in the now. All right. So reciprocity is the idea that that if you don't want your clients to pay late, all right, or you don't like it when your clients have bounced, their payments bounce or something like that. If you don't like that kind of thing, then you make sure that you have fucking money in your bank account when your payments are meant to come out too. Because reciprocity, it's almost kind of like, it's almost like karma in its own way of sorts, right? It's this idea that, inner leadership is that you are showing up as your highest version of yourself, and sure, like, sometimes your clients' payments may still bounce, all right? Just as an example. But does that mean that, like, yeah, but if you are coming from a place of inner leadership, you ensure that yours never do, right? Because you show up as the person that you want to see in this world. Does that make sense, everyone? So you want to show up as the person that you want to see in this world. So you can't expect something of others and be doing something like that is misalignment, right? And trust me, if you're showing up from a place of misalignment, it is showing up in other areas of your life as well, because it's misaligned. All right. So if you are showing up, and you're not doing the do, and you don't have great internal leadership, or you expect your clients to do something, but you're not really willing to do it yourself, or even your team members, or, whatever it is, right? The idea is that a leader must go first. You pave the way. All righty. Whatever that looks like. All right. So you must have, impact is actually about having strong internal drivers, strong inner leadership, being accountable to yourself, understanding that happiness and abundance is actually an internal job, that's self-love and patience and all of those sorts of things. You must have all of those things for yourself first, right? A leader must go first. And in doing that, it's like our believe in yourself above all else and inspire others to do the same, because it's contagious. If you are a leader, even in your relationships at home, right? If you're like, man, I hate it when my partner does X, Y, Z. Well, how are you showing up in that scenario? And what is it that you can do instead of demanding this of them and saying you need to stop acting in this particular way? What can you do, internal leadership, to be the example of what it is that you want to see in the world? Alrighty. So impact actually starts with you, because just going out there and being like, I'm going to help all of the people and, all of these sorts of things, like, when you're not looking after yourself, when you don't have boundaries, when, all this different stuff, it's misalignment, and it will, the cracks will start to show. It's that simple. All righty. And so the third thing, I just want to talk about in brief, I do have a longer YouTube video, I believe it is. Yes, YouTube, on this exact thing, which is be, do, have. All right, be, do, have. So we actually live in a world where things are a little bit backwards. We think that we need to, do all the things, right? It's like do, have, be, So we're brought up, taught that, get an education. And then once you get an education, you can go and get a job and then work, in that job for X amount of time. And then once you've, you do all the you do that, and then you can have a mortgage and have an income and have your bills to pay. And then once you've done all the things and you have all the stuff, then, you can be happy. All right. Or then you will be content, or then you will be the person you were meant to be. right? And it's actually, it's basically backwards. All right. The idea is, and inner leadership as well, is about being the person that you need to be now. All right. Again, it's connected, all these things, they're so interconnected, right? It's like, um, what was I going to say? Let me just sit here and have a brain freeze moment. Who knows? It'll come back to me in a sec, I promise. So, that inner leadership, showing up as your highest self, right? Being, being the person that you need to be now, the rite of passage. That's what I was going to say. And I know there's a slide that's actually going to say this in a second, so it'll be a nice reminder and a tick, but it's like, every new incarnation of your business requires a new incarnation of you. So you have to be that thing first to call in a new existence. It doesn't happen the other way. You don't get existence first and then you get to be the thing. It's actually the other way around. You have to be the thing first. So if you're not showing up, in your, if you're not showing up on your social media, or you're not doing your lead generation, or you're not, making the calls or things like that, right? Like, you need to be the person who picks up the phone. You need to be the person who doesn't hide, behind a keyboard. You need to be the leader you were born to be. And then, you will have all the things. Be, do, have. Be the person you need to be, do the stuff that's meant to be done, and then you will have it all. Alrighty? That's how it works. So look, manifestation equals vision plus big motherfucking action, all right? Don't mind me. I'm just going to, oh my God, uncross my legs. I have dead legs from working out, and I've been sitting here cross-legged this whole time. All right, we're good. We're shifting into a new frequency. That's what's happening here. So look, we chatted about this a little bit already. Manifestation equals vision plus big motherfucking action. You have to have both things, all right? Because you can't have one without the other. What that would look like is having all the vision. If I was such a visionary, which I am, as I said, but if I was all just off in the fucking universe and off in the ether and just dreaming and wishing and willing and wanting and, like all of this sort of stuff and just waiting for the fucking thing, to float in the window, it's never fucking going to happen. That is not how manifestation works. It's again one of those sort of misconceptions. We think manifestation is just about sitting there and journaling on a thing. And if we journal on it, it's like The Secret, right? It's just going to float in the window one day. But that's not how it works. You actually have to take the big motherfucking action steps that are going to get there as well, right? And also in reverse, you can't be all action. If you were all action, and look, it's really funny. I personally, I'm really lucky that I'm a massive fucking visionary as well, because otherwise I am such a doer. I would do all over myself, and I would probably be the person who would be all action with nowhere to fucking go. I could so see that, in a different reality, in a different time, perhaps for myself, because I'm like hamster wheel. I'll fucking do the things. Like, let's get it done. But if there's no vision of what it is that I'm working towards, or what it is I want to achieve, or what kind of leader I want to show up as, or all those different things, right? If there is no vision of that, and I'm all just action, I'm never going to fucking actually get anywhere, because I'm not aligned to a direction. And you are allowed to pivot. Your vision is allowed to change. You're not married to it, right? Like, you are allowed to change, adapt, and grow. Like, I reserve the right to change my mind. I've done that a million times, right? Like, that's cool. You're allowed, but you have to play both sides of this. So it is vision, having the vision, knowing where you want to go, and then, reverse engineering the plan and taking the big motherfucking action steps that are going to get you there. Does that make sense, everyone? Manifestation equals vision plus big motherfucking action. So look, are you ready to step outside of your comfort zone and call in a new, more expansive, freedom-based existence? Are you ready to celebrate your wins? Because we often forget to do so, right? Tall poppies, best not celebrate your wins. You might look like a bit of a wanker if you do, right? But are you now ready to move past those barriers, to celebrate your wins and work exclusively with soulmate clients who swim towards you? Because you're not here for everyone, and that is totally perfect and okay, all right? And to build out the wealthy life of your dreams. Hell yes to that. And are you ready to make the impact and income that you so desire with grace, flow, and ease? Because it's another bullshit story that we think it has to be hard, that we have to hustle all the time, like, go hard or go home, work hard for the money kind of thing, or all of this sort of stuff. No. Joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion. If it is not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, it is not for you. It does get to be easy. And when you are building a soul-aligned empire, it's not hard, because you're making decisions from the soul, as well as, with a bit of strategic smarts in there too. Strategy that is soul aligned. We play both sides, as I said, all right? It's not all about the woo-woo. We've got to do both. So look, as we've already said, every new incarnation of your business requires a new incarnation of you. And to get somewhere you've never been, you need to do things you've never done. I'm going to say those two things again. Every new incarnation of your business or your life requires a new incarnation of you. It means you have to be that thing first. You have to be the one who pushes the edges, who steps outside of your comfort zone, who draws the line in the sand, who decides that you expect nothing less of yourself from this point onwards. You have to do that first, to then call in the new existence that you so desire. And to call in a new existence, a place that you've never been before, right? Then you have to do the things that you've never done, whatever that looks like, right? And we work out that kind of a plan. Where is it that you want to get to? But the amazing thing is that success leaves clues. So if there is a place that you want to get to, and you're like, yes, that's where I want to be, that's what that vision looks like, right? Then we reverse engineer the plan, because success leaves clues. But it does mean that you will have to step outside your comfort zone and do things that you've never done to get to that place that you've never been. Otherwise, it's as simple as you would already be fucking there now. You would already be fucking there now. We'll just go with you already have been, you would already be there now. All right, it's that simple. So we need to call in a new version of you. So what I want to know is, what does success look like to you? All right. And look, this is success to me. This is me and my gorgeous weirdo of a human. This is us literally just having fun, being fucking weirdos, sitting on Bondi Beach. This photo was actually taken. Like, success to me is living my passion every fucking day. Success to me is knowing my why, and my why is in that image right there so much so, right? My why is to be able to retire my partner in the next, year. In the next year, I will retire my partner. We will move into a bigger house. And when we move into a bigger house and I have him retired, we will adopt 3 children. That is my fucking why, my personal why, right? Because I'm allowed to call in my own amazing personal life goals too. But I also am so fucking lucky, as I said at the beginning, I'm the luckiest human being on the planet, because I get to do that while helping other people succeed too. And there is enough success out there in this existence. There is no comparison, no self-poison. So my question is, what does success look like to you? Because, you might not want to retire your partner, move into a bigger house and adopt all the babies, right? That's cool. You don't have to want to do that, right? What does success look like to you, right? What would you be totally grateful for? What do you want to be? How do you want to be waking up every single day? What frequency do you want to be in? What energy do you want to be around? What income, like all the different pieces, and it is so important to fill your space, your environment with reminders of that. That is why I go car shopping, when I'm not necessarily about to buy a car right this second. It's why I look at the houses, because I know it's fucking coming, even though it's not right now. It's why I have beautiful photos here in front of me, again, of houses that I don't own. And it's not about the house, if that makes sense. It's not about the thing. It is about the expansion. It is about the life. It is about the love. It is about the lifestyle. It is about the impact. Because for me as well, and something that my grandma always taught me growing up, bless her, like we always volunteered our time. I've probably volunteered, to different charity organizations, to different, voluntary organizations and stuff like that. Probably since I was like 10 or under is maybe the earliest I remember. you know? So for me, yes, calling in the dollars is one thing, but when I am able to call in the dollars, it means I get to call in even more help, more grace, more flow, more ease. Because to me, my greatest commodity in life is not dollars in my bank account, it's time. I understand how fucking precious time is. And so for me, and it gives me goosebumps, if I can volunteer my time to give back to others freely, that is abundance for me. So what does success and abundance look like to you? Alrighty. And what I want to say quickly, you know, is what success isn't. All right. Because success isn't, you know, old paradigm, scarcity tactics, hustle, misalignment, right? Manipulation, sales scripts, you know, to con people into joining us, right? Using like psychology against people, you know, and things along those lines, you know, like abundance isn't trading time for money. All right. Success isn't trading time for money rather than sitting in your own worth. Like it's so important. Like, yes, you can trade an amount of time for money, but there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. So you either have to up, you know, the prices that you're charging and hold yourself to a higher value, you know, as well as provide at that level too. You don't get to be without integrity either, you know. Yeah, but this, you know, this is what success isn't, you know. Success also isn't hustle and being fashionably busy. And that's the problem that I see out there so much at the moment is that everyone, they, you know, it's like, oh, how you going? How's business? Oh, really busy. Like it's really busy. Like that's the fucking answer. Like I don't love that as an answer. I want to be like, yeah, it's like, yeah, totally in flow, got it all under control, called in some amazing team right now, you know, like that's, you know, how's business? Yeah, it's fucking totally in flow, amazing, abundant, aligned, great. You know, not, oh yeah, real busy. Because then you're just calling in more busyness. The universe fucking listens. So if that's how you're answering, trust me, the universe is going to want to send you more busyness, and your reticular activating system, which is the evidence finder in your brain, is going to be going, oh, she wants busyness. Okay, let's find more reasons to make her feel fucking busy. And you're going to get more burnt out and more overwhelmed. And that is not success, is it? Right? So success isn't always coming from an intellectual place. Oh my God, you know, me back in the day, all fucking brain, all up in here, strategically wanting to fix the problem. You know, and yes, it's both sides, evenly so. All right. So yes, it is strategy. We need to have, you know, we need to upskill our level, you know, and our understandings and, you know, and our systems and all of those different things. But we also need to come from a heart-centered place, you know, soul alignment, higher self, you know, be the person that we actually want to see in the future, be that future person now. All right. Inner leadership. Success also isn't repeating the same old patterns and never getting ahead. And the thing is that the first, I guess, the first place to start, right, with old patterns is admitting like, you know, that you've got some that are no longer serving you. Like, where are you being a bit of a jerk? Or where are you allowing toxicity to creep in? You know, where are you facilitating conversations that are at a level and an energy, you know, that you don't want to play in? Where are you showing up again in, you know, in a frequency? I had to like literally, you know, recently I pulled myself out of a 6-month mastermind, you know, that I paid for in full. I pulled myself out of it after 2 months because I went, this is not for me. This is not the frequency nor the energy that I want to play in. You know, you know, I was literally leaving the sessions feeling drained, feeling like I was lowering my energy to have to be in that place, you know. And I sat there and I went, gosh, I have such reverence for myself, not up my selfness. It's not that. It's just, is this serving me to show up multiple times a week into this place that is actually like sucking from my life force energy, not giving to it? And I struggled with that decision, you know, for a little while, right? Like, and, you know, as I said, it was only 2 months that I was in the container. I reckon for 5 weeks of it, I was like, I don't know that I'm meant to be here. And I kept going, no, I can take the lessons and there's always things to learn from different people. And, you know, I can bend this to suit me and da-da-da-da. And it was seriously fucking soul sucking. And I went, no, I need, like self-reverence, discernment, right? So where are you showing up, whether it be in a container, in a conversation, in a community group, in, even in social media, even, whatever it is, what are you looking at, right? That doesn't actually serve you and that is poisoning, that is self-poisoning you. What comparisons are you making? That isn't success, right? That is stifledness. Is that a word? We'll go with it. Sure. Success isn't being boring, being just like everybody else. If you do what everybody else is doing, yes, success leaves clues, but we want to take those, we want to morph them, bring them into your business. There is no cookie cutter, right? We want to make it uniquely yours. Okay. Because if you're going to do like what everybody else is doing, then you can expect the same kind of results. Right. And so if they're not at the place that you want to be, why are you even comparing yourself? Why are you trying to do the same surface-based BS tactics that they're doing? Expect better of yourself, show up, in a higher format, and you will call in a greater quality of client. But it starts with you. And success isn't constantly being capped where you are, thinking you always have to do more to get more, but having no capacity to grow. All right, that's where life force energy boundaries, energetic boundaries, all of that kind of stuff actually starts to come in. That is not success. So alignment is a feeling. All right. Anything that is not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion is not for you. And I get it. Your bullshit-o-meter might be sitting there right now and you're going, bullshit, Sky, like bullshit. Like you want me to stop, you want me to make decisions in my business based on joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion only? And to introduce and invite in more joy, fun, play, energy, pleasure energy, passion energy into your business, right? Like if you are sitting at your computer and you're going, this is hard, or I don't like this, get the fuck up and leave. Don't do it. Because whatever you are creating in that scarcity, in that fear, in that chaos, in that hustle, in that because I should, in that anxiety, in that whatever, the thing that you are creating is going to hold that energy. So if it is not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, don't fucking do it. It is that simple. All right. And yes, we might need to find a system around it that we can take you out of it because it could be a part of your business that still needs to click over anyway. Let's work that out. Let's put a system structure, whatever it is, in place. So like system structure, I feel like I'm missing an S word in there, so that you get to stay in your place of genius. I remember learning this lesson and being like, bullshit-o-meter, really? Like, I'm still going to have to hustle a little bit. I'm still going to have to be busy, or I'm still going to have to, right? Sometimes I choose to. Sometimes I have big push weeks, and that's okay. That is my choice, right? But I also have the choice to choose differently, and it is really interesting when you allow this thinking to actually soak in. And how freeing it is when you start making decisions from this place. And the magic that happens, and I've recently had my own experience with that too. There was something in my business. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I've done too much of this. It's not feeling aligned and thinking I should and have to and force and all of that kind of stuff. When I decided, no, I'm not going to do this, all the fucking magic kicked in. All the fucking magic sits on the other side of you leaning into those uncomfortable edges. And this might be an uncomfortable edge for you, thinking that you are allowed, you have permission to make all of your decisions out of joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, and alignment, because alignment is a feeling. And you need to trust that when you are feeling compelled, called, pulled, that, that is where the magic is at. Right? And anything that comes in as a bit of noise, as a bit of maybe you shouldn't, or I don't know, or how you're going to make that work, or da-da-da-da-da, right? That is scarcity and that is fear. Because love only ever talks to you in abundance, in joy, in fun, in play, in pleasure, in passion, in magic, in universe. All right? So again, it's like that question earlier, where are you letting scarcity and fear run your life? So look, are you tired of being capped. Being capped at the income you're at right now and not having the systems in place to scale and grow. Are you tired of your marketing not landing and low engagement, or not having any structure around marketing at all? Or maybe just not having any structured marketing at all, rather. Are you tired of being unenthused with your days, with your efforts, your programs, your hours, and feeling like you are no longer aligned with what you do? And maybe you're feeling like, like you used to love what you do and now you don't, right? That tells us misalignment. Something's not aligned. So, that's just information. It's data, it's input. How can we invite in more joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, energy? Are you tired of saying yes to all of the things? All right, bending and contorting, so that you can fit into a box that other people have put there for you, right? And that it's starting to make you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, resentful, and maybe even question yourself, right? That if you are questioning yourself, then we know something is misaligned, because love would not question you, because you are enough and you are worthy. Are you tired of doing what you think you should do versus doing more of what you love? So look, we were talking about these things before. Oops, sorry, I've just done something to my screen. Oh my Lord, I lost you all for a second there. So look, these four pillars that we were talking, these three pillars that we were talking about before are in fact the three pillars to my new program, the Soul Aligned Empire. All right. So freedom is about taking courageous action, feeling fear, and doing things anyway. We explore confidence and playing a higher game in life, raising your standards while cultivating your own life force energy as number one. All right. Freedom is about putting boundaries in place so that you may scale and grow. In the Soul Aligned Empire, we cover wealth. Wealth is your opportunity for a full frequency shift. All right. Change the way you are viewing money, marketing, social media, and how you are showing up in the day-to-day. Unlock your mastery codes. All right. You are enough as you are now, and feel inspired to lean in and be more you. Wealth consciousness is so much more than the dollars in your bank account, although, as we said, they matter too. So we do look at impact and income. And, the final pillar of the Soul Aligned Empire is, in fact, impact. And impact, become the light leader you were born to be. Discover or double down on your life's purpose. Embody inner leadership while you serve from a divine place of grace, flow, and ease. A leader must go first. So be who you were born to be and lead your tribe. Remember, if it is not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, then it is not for you. So I just want to show you this, all right, to give you a bit of an idea of what the Soul Aligned Empire is all about. So the Soul Aligned Empire is a 1-year mentorship program, all right? It is, a deep dive into all these different areas, as we just discussed. There are 3 terms, and the terms are, in fact, freedom, wealth, and impact. Funny that, right? So the Soul Aligned Empire, what you're going to receive as part of the journey, is connection, to your vision, your mission, your purpose, your soul tribe. We are going to connect in 2 times a week as part of the Soul Aligned Empire. It is on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, which is really exciting. We get to play both sides of things. You are going to get, I say I'm an alignment coach and a business mentor. The difference in a coach and a mentor, right? A coach, helps you find the answers yourself, and a mentor tells you what the fuck to do. All right. So you get the best of both of me. I will tell you and help you, help you make strategic decisions within your business, as well as help you find the soul alignment, coach you to find the answers yourself too. So we have a coaching session every single week, as well as, we do a deep dive in a different, freedom, wealth, impact related area, so that you can up level your skill set at the same time, right? Something about like the thing about being a light leader, also means, a leader actually creates other leaders. So it's not just about spoon feeding you and or doing everything for you. It's actually about helping you, yes, find the answers yourself, and guiding you along the journey while you get to step into your best self as a leader as well. All right. We're going to do all sorts of quantum energetic work. That's going to happen, magic behind the scenes on you as well, from me, which is, my gift to you. We do talk both sides, strategic and soul alignment. There is a members portal, which is awesome, so that you get forever access to the entire year's worth. So that's 45 expert workshops, as well as the 45 quantum coaching sessions. You get to be as selfish as you want. Bring your questions so that we can do that intimate deep dive into your business so that you are fully supported along the way. Never feel alone in your business again, all right? And you'll also get, a bunch of bonus content such as clearings, timeline therapy, business tools, and all sorts of other materials. So I'm so excited, for this amazing co-creation, this collective, of soul businesses who are ready to really, step it up, elevate, their experience of life, and, their experience of business as well. So this is your reminder. All right. Today is all about impact and income, and you can have impact and income at the same time. You do get to be, rich, if we want to use that word, and happy, and you can, give back, and you can have this success. And it's not what success looks like to me. It's whatever success looks like to you. Right. And we get to build out that vision of an amazing future and then take the big motherfucking action steps that is going to get you there. So which reality do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a chaotic one or an abundant one? Because the amazing thing is that the choice is actually yours. If you believe you can live in a chaotic universe, then everything you see around you, right, is going to prove that reality to be true. But if you believe that you live in an abundant universe, and let me tell you, I only work with people who believe, in abundance and in the fact that, all things are possible. And you may have moments of that wavering, but you still come back to the same soul love-based truth, right? That you are a fucking universal being here for the full human experience. And that means that you get to call in the most amazing reality, and we get to live in gratitude while still, having this amazing vision, of abundance, of give, receive, of income and impact, of all of those amazing things that you want, of wealth, of freedom. So look, I choose not to work with people who are victims and think life is happening to them, not for them. Life is happening for you, not to you. But if you don't believe that, look, I choose not to work with people, who have victim mentality, who give up when something gets a little hard, or people who stay in their comfort zone, because the magic happens when you lean into the edges, right? I choose not to work with people who are excuse makers and focus on problem rather than solution. Right? I choose not to work with problem-focused people. Oh my gosh, cool, no worries. You're allowed to have a problem or a challenge, but every challenge is an opportunity for growth. And, I'm reading a book at the moment, right? Everything is figure-outable. There is a solution. So let's find that. Let's sit in the solution, forward focus, rather than in that victim mentality. I choose not to work with people who are energy suckers, negative and low vibe, because let me tell you, frequency is everything. And that should be one of your, draw a line in the sand kind of things as well, where you say, I'm not going to work with low vibe people, because they are, they do suck your life force energy out of you. And if you fire a client who, doesn't serve you, trust me, the universe will provide you 3 more. I promise you that is the case, right? And I choose not to work with people who are non-action takers. Remember, it's not about just dreaming, wishing, willing off into the future. It is also about taking the big motherfucking action steps that are going to get you there. It's both. We play both sides. I choose and love to work with people who are ready to take massive and radical self-responsibility for their actions and therefore their results. If this is you, hell yes in your head, right? You know, it's a bit like, are you ready to take massive and radical self-responsibility for your actions and therefore your results? Hell yes, right? I love to work with people who are courageous and compassionate in every situation in life. All right. I love to work with people who are aware that they are a soul here for the full human experience. I love to work with people who are ready to invest in their own evolution because growth is life, right? Personal development, business growth, every new incarnation, right? You can't solve tomorrow's problems with the same mindsets that got you there today. Alrighty. And I love to work with people who are believers that they can have it all. You live in an abundant universe. Alrighty. And yeah, like I play in a realm where all things are possible. It's that simple. And when you have that deep belief, that certainty, gosh, it makes taking action really fucking easy and feeling that soul alignment because yes, all things are possible, and life is happening for me. So if there is a decision to be made and yes, that feels good, I'm going to make that, that decision based in alignment, based in soul, based in purpose, based in mission, right? Because I know that it's going to work out for me exactly as it should. And even with the example I gave before of me leaving a container, God, I learned so much that, that taught me so much. And also, I made some amazing connections and different things. The universe was saying to me, you have gotten everything you need from this container and it's time to go. And that's okay. And I was like, okay, thanks, knock, knock. The universe knocked and it said like, you're done here and that's cool. And I went, all right, because every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Life happening for me. It didn't happen to me. I was not a victim of that decision. Like amazing, right? So good, so empowering. So imagine if in a year from now, you could have everything that that you could possibly imagine, right? Because the thing is that often what we imagine, when we align, with our when we align strategy with our soul's purpose, the magic starts to happen and you will call in so much more than you ever dreamed was possible. Yes, the destination is important, right? Vision, but it is also the path along the way. So imagine if in 1 year from now, you could literally have everything that your soul, desires. What would that look like to you? What does success look like to you? And also, are you fucking ready to take the massive and radical self-responsibility for your actions that are going to get you there? Because it's not just about dreaming and wishing and willing off into the future. You have to take those action steps. You have to show up and you have to play a higher game, which includes inner leadership, because impact starts with impact in self, and expecting more of yourself. Draw that line in the sand. Play a higher game. What does that look like to you? So as I just said, you cannot solve tomorrow's problems with the same mindsets that got you there today, all right? Every new incarnation of your business requires a new incarnation of you, which means sometimes we need a little bit of help along the way. Sometimes we need somebody to kick us in the butt, or, sometimes we need somebody to tell us that they love us, right? And that we are perfect exactly how we are. I love all of you and you are all perfect exactly how you are. All right. But we are allowed to continue to want to grow and build and do more, to be more, to have more, right? To give more. So look, here's what can happen next. All right. If you're interested in finding out more about the soul aligned empire and our amazing pillars, freedom, wealth, and impact, if you want to be, held in a really intimate container where you get fully supported, not only by me, but by, other people, doing like on the journey as well. Let me tell you something, right? Do not take, advice or input from people who are not in the arena with you. It's that simple, you know? And so to find a amazing community or collective of like-minded individuals, you know, who are doing the do, you know, taking the actions, you know, building the new mindsets, breaking down blocks and barriers and all those amazing things, you know, like it is so important that you align yourself with those kind of like-minded people. Again, it's another expectation. The level of conversation you want to be having, you know, elevate the level of conversation that you're having with people. So showing up in containers, just like the soul aligned empire, where the level of conversation that we are having is higher, you know, is going to serve you far better than taking advice from people who are not in the arena with you. They don't get a say. Alrighty. So look, what can happen next is, you know, we're able to jump on a call together. Alrighty. And we get to talk about your personal vision of success. All right. And we're going to talk about what freedom, wealth, and impact would mean in your life right now. And we can also have a chat about your clearest path to the impact and income that you so desire. You know, the Soul Aligned Empire being a next level program, as I said, it is a 1 year, you know, mentorship. It is intimate. There is a capped amount of people that I will be inviting into this container. So there is an application process. All righty. So if you do want to apply, you know, obviously reach out to me, you know, like once you've watched this video, reach out to me, say, yes, I'd love more information on the Soul Aligned Empire, you know, about, you know, and hearing, yeah, and then the application process, obviously. We can talk about freedom, wealth, and impact, what that means to you in your life, alrighty, and get that application process started, which includes, obviously, you know, booking in a call with me. All right, you amazing, gorgeous human beings. Thank you so much, you know, for today. Thank you so much for allowing me to live my joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion every single day. Neon and graffiti and crazy hair and all those things everywhere. I love you guys. I really, really do. You know, and I see your success as my success too. So please reach out if there is a way that I can help support you, you know, in our next level mentorship program, or in any other way. You know, I'd love to connect in with you. You know, I am here to serve. So believe in yourself above all else, and remember to keep inspiring others to do the same. Love you guys. Bye.